Let's talk about the Phoenix Delta. I have owned this machine for 6 months now, and I think that is a good amount of time to start talking about it again, and if you really should build it yourself still. It prints fine right now. I've done a few upgrades to it. I've removed some things that I don't really like about it, and honestly I haven't used it that much, but I remember enough about it from the last time I used it that I think I'm comfortable talking about it. So when I first built this machine, I had a long Bowden tube running to the extruder, or I guess to the hot ends. It was just a Titan extruder, so it was like super cheap. You could get it off Amazon for 10 bucks. And since then, I have upgraded to this direct drive Sherpa Mini extruder. So it's pretty lightweight, although it is on top of the print head, so it makes it a little bit harder to move around at higher speeds, but print quality is definitely worth it. Talking about speed, as you can see, it only uses 2020 aluminum extrusions, and they're like the cheapest ones I could find. So they are a little bit bendy, which definitely does affect print quality. However, even then, this machine isn't built for speed. It is a Delta, so it can go fast, above 100 millimeters per second, but you shouldn't be going crazy fast with this, otherwise quality will suffer. Now, right now I'm printing PLA Plus, and this is just a test print, just to kind of show what it's capable of. Probably won't finish by the end of this video, that would take a while, but it prints nice still. I think some of that has to do with the carbon fiber magnetic rods. They are Hayden Huntley rods. You can pick them up for around $90, I think. These are the 400 millimeter length. I am still using a SKR Pico board, which is perfectly adequate for what this is. As you can hear, it's silent almost. You can hear the fans. That's the dual 5015 blower fans, which does a very, very nice job at cooling, by the way. And I am also using the Duet Smart Effector. This is the 3.0 version, which has a piezo electric flex sensor in it, so it can do automatic bed leveling with the nozzle. Doesn't require a detachable probe or anything, which has been great. In terms of the motor setup, I'm not using something super expensive from LDO or something, because those are really great, but for this, I mean, you really don't need much, because as you can see, the gantries are super lightweight. Those are aluminum V-rollers. Instead of what Rolohan uses, he uses linear rails. These are a lot cheaper, 30 bucks for all three. I'd highly recommend them. Also, a thing that I changed, and I might change back, is the Raspberry Pi that I was originally running in this. I was using a Raspberry Pi 3B. I don't know if it's the 3B Plus or just the 3B. Anyway, I upgraded or downgraded, depends on how you look at it, to the Orange Pi Zero. In terms of speed, internet-wise and everything, it's perfectly fine for Klipper. I really like that aspect of it. However, I have been having troubles with it connecting to the Pico consistently. Basically, I have to hit the reset button on the board before I use it, so I will probably have to swap that out, unless you guys know why it's doing that. As you guys remember, I used to have a screen there, or there, depending on when you saw it. That was a Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, and it used the Android version of Klipper Screen, which worked great. It ran perfectly fine, just like any other screen you'd buy, but I already had it laying around. Anyway, the Orange Pi does not have a second USB port, so I couldn't plug that in because it relies on micro USB. So now I just took that off. But as to if you guys should build this yourself, I would still highly recommend it, especially if you haven't built a machine before. Deltas are notoriously simple, simply because they have 1, 2, 3, 4 motors, and the frame is crazy simple. So if you haven't built a machine from scratch before or self-sourced, just go for it. It's easy. this was my first that I had built from scratch. I think it took me like a week at most, and that was including shipping times and everything. Yeah, so this is the Phoenix Delta after 6 months. I still enjoy it, and I think you guys will too. Thanks for watching.